Today we have a BMW 5 Series in for a timing chain, B47. It has 138,000 miles. Let's crack on with it and see how it goes. I usually start with removing the gearbox, so it's out of the way. I'm actually surprised, no bolts missing, nothing. You always want to put something on a positive cable in case you got power back in it and it's like touching ground. You don't want that. Technology. I'm removing the prop shaft. What we gonna do next? Remove some wires. I'll remove the pipes for the gearbox cooler. And then we unscrew the gearbox. Lifetime oil's no good whatsoever. We gotta move the starter motor so we can get access. Gearbox lines. That's a good practice when you're removing a gearbox bolt. So you're not gonna run into issue where you're gonna put too long bolt in the wrong hole and you're gonna pierce through the engine block. So yeah, fishing required. After fishing, we can put the bolt through. Just make sure we got all the bolts out. Yeah, there we go. Fucking one more. All the cables off. Yeah, let's go down. If you're doing one of those, pretty much any automatic gearbox, because I've seen a lot of people do it and then they struggle to pull converter out, the flex plate. That's because people don't put the block underneath the engine. When you got a gearbox on an angle and you got the engine that tries to straighten up, you won't be able to pull the converter out. It's always good to either jack up the engine or put block of wood or something so it's easier to pull out.
How are you getting off?
Not bad. Not bad. It's actually really, really clean. No engine oil leaks, and it's 140k.
The rarest BMW in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't leak.
Strip the top, take all the foams, covers off, a rocker cover so we can fit the timing tools. You see, that's a teamwork. You ask your colleagues for the covers and they always help you out. Put some T-Pex or even marker, so when putting back, you know which one goes where. Injectors, fuel rail, yeah, then we're pulling the cover off. Always put some marks on the injectors. Each injector is coded to each cylinder. It looks nice and clean. We still have to lock it up, see if there's any slack on the chain. Looking really good so far. Oh, there we are. Even though it's nice and clean, the air filter not the best. You can see quite a lot of oil, and it has a lot of play. It's not like catastrophic, but it won't survive that long. Look how the engine looks, nice and clean. You can see someone changes the oil pretty often, and then you see that, which is not that great, but we don't know how many miles the customer does. Basically, I'm trying to get to the front of the engine, so I've got easier way to turn the engine over, and then we're gonna fit the locking tools. It's probably worth taking the belt out because you can see all that reddish brownish dust. That's probably one of the pulleys or something getting worn out. Belt doesn't look too bad, but you can see the color and it's something is like rubbing or something here. So we got to check that out and see what it is. Take the flex plate off, take the timing cover off, the sump off, and then we're gonna see the chain. See if there's any slack, any unusual shit going on. We'll see.
The next day.
So next day, new possibilities. We took off the timing cover, the flex plate, the sump, so we can see all the timing chain and the guides and everything. There's no slack whatsoever. Now we gonna take off the chains and guides and tensioners, clean it all up, put it all back together.
These are special tools, yeah?
Yeah, old school style. It is fucking well clean. That's why the chain survives so long. That's pretty much what people don't get. Simple thing as changing the oil can save your engine for that long. I always put a little dot on a fuel pump sprocket because the proper timing mark, it's on a sprocket here and it aligns with the notch in here. So when you got the engine still in a bay, it's hard to see from like a level. So that's just gonna make my life easier. Good point to mention. Left-hand thread. Here we have a Comline kit, which comes with a 4-year warranty. It seems like it's pretty much complete. We've got all the guides, we've got both tensioners, we've got all the sprockets, 3 chains, we've got a rocker cover gasket, crankshaft seal, we've got a RTV, and we've got a nozzle.
So you guys have been asking, where can we get the Comline kits? They are now available, okay? They are available at your local motor factors. Ours would be Huntingdon Bennett's, so yours might be Bennett's as well. So get in touch with your local motor factors, get yourself a Comline kit. So now I'm gonna take you back to Kamil and he can install a Comline chain.
There we go, first tension. Bottom chain, the top chain and oil pump chain all taken off, the guides and everything. So now we're gonna just clean it all up and crack on with the rest. $140 of the pressure in that nozzle. It's basically cleaning all the grease and everything off of the parts. Almost like brand new again. We still got to clean off the silicone. 5 Newton meters and 90 degree. We have all back together, all the chains, guides, tensioners, everything. We're just gonna turn the engine over, see if it's all lined up as it should be, and then we're just gonna put all back together. It's sitting nice and flush on the top. Let's lift it up now and see how it's on the bottom. Nice and where it's supposed to be. I'm happy with that. Crank seal time without the tool, without the plastic. We put a sump and a back cover back on, so that's all done and sealed up. Now we're gonna do the top, so the rocker cover, injectors and all that, and then we're gonna move on to the gearbox. Never put injectors without any lube. Rocker cover, injectors, fuel rail, everything back on. We can probably move to the gearbox now. Easy.
Bob's going easier that way. The wall.
Fuck off.
Get that changed.
Fuck off.
Hey, I know the correct people are watching this, so that we can change that from yellow to red.
If they could, hit me up with the fucking red.
Fucking yellow.
Fuck off. Gearbox back on, we've got top end all assembled, all back together. Pretty much the only thing that left, it's like start it up, see if there's no leaks. Yeah, so we're just filling up the engine with the oil and we're gonna try to crank it without plugged in injectors. So the fuel rail and everything gonna get filled up with fuel. And then we plug in the injectors and try to start it. The oil is cold, so we can't really tell what's it like, but it's not that bad actually. So as you can see, the Beamer started as expected. We still got all that plastics and intake and everything to put back, but other than that, runs smooth. So yeah guys, we are now done. We're just gonna do some road tests, see if there's no leaks, nothing, and give it back to the customer.